Assalamualaikum. Hello everyone. We are today again with the program, with my program, Knowing Islam. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you passed a good week. Uh, Considering Islam as well, you had a past, you have passed a good week. I hope. Therefore, we are learning Islam slowly. Maybe most of us knows about Islam a lot of things, but we are always, as I said in the first videos, we are telling this. We are telling Islam because in every telling we keep the level of our faith, the level of our iman. This is very important. For example, why we do this? For example, I am going to give you, as I told in the first 5 videos, the importance of Quran and Sunnet. Our Prophet Hazreti Muhammed sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem. When two friends of our Prophet met together, they say each other, let's increase our faith, our iman today. For example, this is important. Why? We should keep the level of iman in the over an average. We should keep this because the level of iman sometimes decrease. When we feel that it decrease, we should increase it to a level, to a better level, that we continue our life psychologically and biologically. It's important. There is almost everything in Islam: biology, psychology, and everything. So it's important. For example, ashab, the friends of our Prophet, when they meet together, they do this too. Can you read me Quran? They ask. Sometimes our Prophet asks to his friends next to him, can you read me the Quran? Can you read me a part of the Quran? Our Prophet did that because reading Quran and thinking on Quran and our Prophet makes our faith, our iman, the level of our iman increased in an upper level, and it's better. We should keep this in mind. As you see, I'm wearing a hat. We call this takke. In Turkish, takke. In let's say in sometimes it's being called as fes in our ancient language, but we call it takke in Turkish, and I don't know right now in Arabic. You can check it in the global language hat. So I'm wearing a hat. I'm showing you this hat. Why I am wearing this hat? Because when we are praying, we are wearing a hat, a takke like that. This because this comes from two important things. One of them is this is a sunnet of our Prophet. The sunnet that he covers his head, something like an eşarp, like a turban, something like that, or something like that. So as I told you, it's not totally the exact sunnah, but it's a part of sunnah. I am doing this because of it's a part of sunnah, but not a total sunnah, because our Prophet and his culture gives this direction to him. He made a long eşarp, long veil on his head. Maybe you can see in the movies, or if you visit a Arabic country, even they don't do this exactly today, but you can see this in general in the movies. So this is important, and this is healthy, because I'm doing this because it's healthy. It keeps your head warm. If you want your head in to be warm, you can use this technique, and it is not obligation for men, but to women. We are going to come to this point. It's an important point as well, but we are going to come to this point slowly. So I will show you my takkes, or my hats. I have this one and this one, something like that. I have this one and this one. So I'm using and I like wearing hats like that. This is also a part of Islam. Let's keep this in mind. And last week I told about what Quran told us. Quran mentions, tells a lot of subjects, a lot of topics, and I said that I will give concrete examples to to define, to know what Quran tells us about our life, about history, and too many things. And I wanted to start technology, because technology is our era's most attractive, and sometimes it makes us lose time, but one of the most attractive thing of our century, technology. Everything, this is a technology. Social media, computers, cars, everything that we use is connected with technology. It's important, and it's very interesting fact that Quran tells about this. For example, let's say hi to Edison, who invented the lamp. Quran, for example, talks us it gives a definition of a lamp. If you read in the Quran, almost before the invention, 13 centuries ago, before the invention of the lamp, it gives something. It gives a definition of something that looks like a lamp. Most of the people think that Edison, as I said, every big man, Newton, Edison, maybe Tesla, and every big man, every big scientist, reads Quran, and we can infer from this development that Edison, when he was trying, they told us he tried 1,000 times to invent a lamp. He tried this, and most probably he takes some part of his inspiration from the Quran, because Quran gives a traditional lamp that we use oil, olive oil, to give the light, but Edison could think that from this definition, and using valuable metals like gold or something like gold, valuable metals, he thought like that I think from using this valuable metal I can come to this point, because Quran, at the time of the Quran, we didn't know we can use the valuable metals for transforming and translating the electric. Edison could think that because in the Quran it gives the example of gives the example of olive oil. It tells that we use olive oil to give a light in a lamp. This is the technology part of the Quran. For example, about geography, what he talks us about geography. He talks us the two waters that doesn't mix, the two waters, the two sea that doesn't mix. Before maybe 14 centuries ago, before the invention of Captain Cousteau, Captain Cousteau had found that there are some waters in the world, especially in the Gibraltar, the ocean and the Mediterranean Sea, their water doesn't mix. Captain Cousteau, had invented this, and this definition is given in the Quran. The Quran talks about the two water that doesn't mix. For example, Quran talks about international relation. It talks about, for example, two east and two wests. In our era, sometimes we define Near East and Far East. There are definitions like that in the international relations, but we don't use Near West and Far West. I don't know, maybe we can use this definition in the next years. We will see, but there is a geographic mentions. There are geographic mentions in the Quran as well. And Quran, so important, something very important. It, it talks about the creator, how Allah created the human, because the humanity made a lot of progress, but creating a human without out of a blue, starting from zero, out of nothing, creating a human is not possible for human technology. And Quran talks about a biologic invention before almost 15 centuries ago. The invention of the cells, embryo, these biologic terms. It talks about this fact as well. For example, Quran uses the word alaq for the embryo. The word alaq is something that sticks to a wall. Alaq, connected, something that connected, that sticks to a wall. And Quran talks about that. It talks the exact word for the embryo, because embryo sticks to wall of a cell wall. And Quran talks about this biologic development that we invented in the 20th century or 19th or 18th, but after too many centuries of the descending of the Quran, Quran talks about this fact. So when the Arabic community of that time were right to be surprised, because they are listening from our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They are listening very interesting things that they didn't never hear. So they were right to be surprised, because these informations from Quran come like a poetry, and the true information, the very true information, even the humanity couldn't find for 13 centuries, for 14 centuries. Quran talks about this fact. So we can learn from Quran too many things if we look at and examine it very carefully. We can learn a lot of things from the Quran. But I'm not going to enter as I said in the first video, so therefore we should know some Arabic to have information, to have enough information about the Quran. This is important. And I told as well the reading. We know we can learn how to read Quran from YouTube, from too many sources. There are facilities for that. One another thing, for example, Quran mentions a lot of geographic things. It talks about sometimes thunder, sometimes rain, how the rain comes from the sky. It talks about these facts, these geographic facts as well. And more importantly, the Quran talks about the importance of water, because in when it is talking about the creating, you know, it talks about the importance of water. Because as we know, after too many centuries, our body and the world is created in a big proportion from water. Water is important for our body and for our planet, and we can learn these how Allah use water in the creature, in the creating of human, and in the creating of the planet. Maybe we can add one another thing, that the Big Bang, because Quran as well mentions about this very important invention. The physicist tells us that our planet, the universe, had come from a Big Bang, which means 0, 0, 0, the volume of a zero, you know. Our planet, our universe, came from a zero volume nothing, and Quran says that Allah Ta'ala can create out of nothing, out of zero. He can create out of nothing, out of zero, everything that we can imagine and that we cannot imagine. And this is also another physical factor, a physical information, very big information in our planet, the Big Bang theory, as we know in our era. And let's tell a social matter that Quran tells about. For example, Quran gives us a very important principle of justice to humanity. It says that even if you don't like a community, and it uses the word hate, even if you hate a community, don't go away from justice, don't be away from justice, stick to justice, stick to be just. Justice is very important, and Quran gives a huge basic principle for our centuries about justice in a world that we need a lot of justice, as we sometimes mention. This is also social side, social sciences, that Quran, social principles that Quran taught us. Yes, we came to the end of our program this week. Therefore, we are going to continue to tell about Islam, to know better Quran, Sunnet, and other sections of Islam. Have a good Friday and weekend and week. Stay with Islam and with my YouTube channel. See you in the next program.